All right, Prophet Mboro Motsoeneng of the Incredible Happenings Church has been hosting a media conference with fellow church leaders, including the ACDP's Kenneth Mesher. There have been allegations of sexual misconduct and murder that have been leveled against one of the pastors. Let's be very clear about that. It's a bit complex. They are not against Prophet Motsoeneng of Incredible Happenings, but there is a link of some sorts through one of the churches. So let me take it to eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu, who's going to set the record absolutely straight around that matter. So Manqoba, before you proceed with telling us what came out of the media briefing, start with setting the record straight. Who is accused of sexual misconduct and murder? How does that fit in with Incredible Happenings?
Well, Tulas, we're here at one of the churches here in Katlehong, which is Arise and Shine Gospel Church. And the leader of this church is the one that is facing those accusations from some of the church congregants as well as religious leaders here around in the area. So we do understand that the bishop himself, Bishop Dingiswa, has since been arrested. And the accusations, Tulas, are that he is facing 10 counts of rape or sexual violations, which relates to the abuse and molestation of about 25 young men at his church. So that is the allegation so far. But the church leaders and religious leaders coming here this morning to hold a briefing and to condemn the incident that has happened here. We do understand that he will be appearing in court tomorrow. But let's speak to some of the religious leaders that are here to condemn this incident, including the leader of the Incredible Happenings Church, Mboro. Thank you very much, Mboro, for your time. You're here this morning to come and condemn this incident. What do we know so far about what you've heard as well?
Well, the sad thing is that this is a cult. These are the rituals they use to get powers, to be able to see visions and prophesy. It's not only minors, even those who are, getting trained to be pastors and so on, as you see some of his leadership here, who are his girlfriends and his wives. So we are fighting spiritually because it needs God's intervention. We need to fight it and destroy it, because if you don't fight it spiritually, you cannot win it. But so far we have won. You have seen the wife who was divorcing her husband. They are reconciling. There is peace. There is a lot of work that we are doing, so God is going to help us.
So just to clarify things, you are here to also condemn this incident as part of the religious leaders here in this community after hearing about what has happened here. But in terms of what we know, how many young people are we talking about? What do you know so far?
Some they have, now they are not, it started them young. Now they are over age, as you saw them. We strongly condemn this. If you want to do your thing, do them, don't use the name of God. All these so-called pastors, prophets, apostles, bishops, who are putting Christianity into disrepute, we are coming now. It has to stop. And we call all the men and women of God to stand and fight for the image of Christ, the image of God, and show the real church. What is the church? This is not the church, and it must be closed down.
Okay, so you're calling for it to be closed down?
We call it for it to close down, even if they can hand over the power to somebody, because even those who are under him, they are going on. And what is said, some of those who are leading forums, they graduated from him. So it's not easy for anyone to touch him. He's been untouchable, and they've been threatened with death. Even the whistleblower, Prophet Zelda, was threatened with death, even myself. So right now, let them come. Whatever they want to do, we are ready for them, but we'll not allow them to continue. We are stopping them.
Okay, let me get to Kenneth Mesher, who's, of course, the leader of ACDP. Mesher, what is your sense in all of this? What are you saying with regards to some of these serious allegations that we're hearing here?
When I was told about what is happening, and I heard for myself from the victims, it broke my heart. You saw Mama Zelda cry. You saw some victims cry. It is a heartbreaking story. Now, one of the important reasons why I had to be here was I'm also a church leader. And there are people who would conclude that if a bishop can do this to congregants, then it means all churches are the same. So we are here to say all churches are not the same. There are pastors, there are ministers, there are even bishops who fear God, who respect members of their congregations. But now, what we are hearing about this church is that members of the congregations were not respected. I am grateful that men of God invited me. The women of God became a whistleblower. And I thank them for their courage. I must say it publicly. I thank them for their courage. And I wish we'd have hundreds more pastors, bishops, and apostles who will hate wickedness, who will expose wickedness. Because when that happens, the community respect for the church will also improve.
What should happen then, Meshoe, in terms of this case? What are you calling for as a church?
Well, I'm happy that the man is arrested now. Today we'll join the victims and the servants of God in this area who will be at Parliament's court, all right, to demand that the man must be denied bail.
No bail.
Must be denied bail, okay? Now, two other things I want to add. They are speaking about denying bail. I agree 100%. When the man is sentenced, he must be given the highest maximum sentence possible, okay? And thereafter, he must never be considered for parole. Because men like that, when they come out of prison, they continue with their evil deeds. So the man who is being arrested must be denied bail, must be given the maximum sentence, and must never be considered for parole. So that people's image of the church will improve. We are here to defend the image of the church, and we will expose. I thank this man for exposing, and I will always stand with him when he exposes evil. All the people out there who expose evil taking place behind the pulpits, perpetrated by people who call themselves ministers of God, must be exposed.
Okay, thank you. Well, to us, there are also some of the victims that are here that just spoke earlier on the briefing that was taking place here, just sharing their stories of how this alleged abuse happened. And one of them is right here, Tsidiso Mtaung. Tsidiso, you were relating your story, your ordeal of what really happened here. If you can just take us through that again. What is it that you said happened to you?
I was a minister at this church. I started serving from 2009. So this apostle used to come to my house, and then she would ask for massages. After massages, it would be kisses, and after kisses, then she would do the act. It happened for a very long time, and when I tried to expose this evil, then I was expelled and I was recalled from my ministry as a minister. And then yes, but it continued again. I tried to report the case to the police, but my case was not successful. The report was not successful. But then I decided to approach some of the pastors who were church members also. They tried to fight with this guy. They tried to call meetings, but he was also defensive. And he would tell them that he is God. They can't tell them anything.
How has it affected you?
I was angry, because he did this act and got away with it. I was very angry. I'm married with my wife, and I was also treating her bad. Yeah, it's that it affected me big time. I can't even explain more. Yes.
No, thank you for sharing your story with us. Well, those are just some of the allegations that are being made here by some of those who say they had been abused by this bishop of this church. So there was a bit of a scuffle earlier on because the press briefing itself was meant to happen inside the church, but some of the church members, however, denying those religious leaders to get inside the church, insisting that we should be outside of the gate parameters. So as things stand to us, we do know that bishop is due to appear at the Palm Beach Magistrate Court tomorrow.
All right, thank you for that. That's eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu with that report. And just for absolute clarity and certainty, to the extent that there was a bit of confusion a bit earlier on, the allegations of sexual misconduct are not leveled against Prophet Mboro Motsoeneng. They are against another pastor that Manqoba Mchunu has mentioned there in his reporting.